don't know about you, but I made a decent living by doing magic shows in the 1980s and 90s. Not only that, but I was doing approximately 250 shows a year, not in a huge metropolis, but in a Midwestern Canadian city populace, 500,000. Not only that, but with my magic earnings, I was also able to purchase at separate times 2 houses in very nice parts of town. How did I do it? Well, being in advertising and initially being able to do my own promotions, advertising and artwork helped. Later on, having some of the best agents and managers sure helped as well. But the real reason that I believe I did so well is that I was doing what we call commercial magic. It wasn't groundbreaking and original. In fact, some of those tricks in my close-up and stage shows, other magicians were doing in larger Canadian cities. You see, I always tried to not copy the local magicians' acts, but bring in material from elsewhere that the local guys weren't doing yet. And when they started to copy me, I brought in different material once again. No, the secret wasn't that at the time I wasn't using great sleight of hand moves. In fact, I would even use gaffed or trick decks in lieu of sleights, but being an entertainer, making my audience both laugh with my corny jokes while being amazed at the same time. Also, I had my tricks and routines for my stage act and close-up shows so polished they appeared to be spontaneous or off the cuff. They were also well organized so that I could pack up quickly, drive halfway across the city, unpack, and be ready to perform the same half-hour show for a new audience at a different location. Often I'd be booked to do 3 or 4 shows each day in a weekend, with only 30 minutes time between shows, including travel, setup, and tear down. I was what they'd call in the trade a worker, and exhausted as I was on Monday morning, I'd often have thousands of dollars for doing what I loved. Not only that, but by repeating over and over the same show thousands of times, I got to be more and more relaxed on stage, being able to iron out and avoid any mishaps due to worn out equipment, plus improvise lines more, some of which, if they worked and the audience laughed, I would include in the next show, the lines appearing to be improvised, but really not. That was a commercial act. Nowadays, because I'm doing magic because I love it and not to make a living, I can focus on making my act more artistic or pleasing to the eye and more technically challenging for myself. Because I'm also performing more for other magicians at club meetings, etc., I can focus on how I'd like my shows to be viewed. For example, from a jaded magician's perspective versus a lay audience or everyday people, willing and ready to be fooled and amazed. The technical practice is still there, but the audience and therefore the attitude and perspective is different. For example, this year, the act I honed, which got me into the world's most prestigious magic club, wouldn't be the kind of act that an agent or a manager would want to book me for, to say perform at a Cub Scout meeting, birthday party, or a bar, maybe for television, or a classy lounge, but the 8-minute length wouldn't cut it either, with a minimum 20 to 30-minute length required for commercial shows. My current act is suited for the private sector, if you will, for magic conventions and competitions, judged by and hopefully enjoyed by other magicians. And that's the difference, my friends. Commercial, aimed at the public at large and for agents to book, or artistic, for other magicians and those very special occasions. Which one are you?